Welcome to another episode of On the Go Movie Reviews, where we talk about films on the drive home from the cinema. This evening we've just been to see Crawl, which is a fantastic creature feature which has recently come out. And if you haven't seen the trailer, here it is.
The state of Florida has issued a Category 5 hurricane warning. All residents must evacuate immediately. Grab your families, your loved ones, and get out.
Dad!
We won't be able to come for you.
Dad! Dad! Yeah. Oh my God. What happened?
Haley, are you hurt?
I'm fine. Hello, can anybody hear me? I'm trapped with my father in our house in Coral Lake.
Haley!
Please send help.
Haley!
Wait, down here.
Pete, you hear that? In less than an hour, we'll be underwater! Banging on the pipes blurs their senses. I can distract them for you. You got this! You need to go now.
I'm not leaving you here. Come on, you son of a bitch!
So we actually haven't done one of these in a while. We've been a bit busy and there hasn't been much on that we've really been interested in seeing. So as a film we've seen, sort of first film we've seen in 2 weeks, what did you think, Josh?
I really enjoyed it.
It was so much fun. So silly.
I had so much fun. It was exactly. It's rare to see a film that is kind of exactly what you want it to be and nothing more.
Yeah, I kind of get that.
I was like, I wanted 90 minutes of crocodiles in the house, and I got that. Sorry, alligators.
Alligators. Yeah, I wasn't sure when we were going into it whether it was crocodiles or alligators, but they tell you very early on that it is it's alligators.
Yeah, there's a really big sign that says alligator,
Alligator
farm.
Yep, that's a setup and a half.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Yep, there's gators in these waters."
Gators.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was gonna be more of like in the house, like flooded house kind of thing, but it was more like about the crawl space under the house and
Yeah, a large portion of the movie does indeed.
yeah, and because I thought that a lot of it was ruined from the trailer. I was a bit like, oh, I wish I hadn't seen the trailer. I've seen too much. I kind of feel like I should have seen that much. But I don't think it really did ruin. Well, there was one moment, but other than that one moment, I don't think it really ruined much.
Because of the trailers, like I'd seen that there were certain moments in certain locations
Yeah.
coming up, so I was like, oh, okay, now we're gonna get here, now we're gonna get here.
Yeah.
But I still feel as though, oh, this is hard to do without spoilers.
I know.
There are certain characters involved in the movie who
Who you know are gonna die.
yeah, and then there are certain characters who like you're unsure of their fate because they're not featured in the trailer as much.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought that. Is this spoiler? Yeah, I suppose spoiler alert, everyone. This is quite a difficult movie to talk about without spoilers. So, spoiler alert, that is on. Leave now if you don't want to hear spoilers. I actually thought the dad was going to sacrifice himself.
I kept thinking to myself, I was like, if he dies, then all of this is like kind
Is
of
for
pointless.
no reason, yeah.
Yeah, other than her character growth. She doesn't
She
get
doesn't
anything
gain
out
anything.
of putting herself into this level
Yeah.
of danger. So I was kind of like, on the one hand, I was kind of like, he kind of has to survive.
He has to survive. Yeah, that's what
But I was
I
fully
realised.
expecting
But I was
a
expecting
heroic sacrifice.
Yeah.
I was
I
also
kind of-
expecting the dog to die as well.
Oh, I know. I'm so glad that dog didn't die.
Oh.
There was a moment where I thought it was gonna die as well.
I
and
know,
was
right?
like,
When when it does
"Ah!"
that shot from above of the
Yeah.
dog slowly going towards the
And then
guy.
as it did the shot towards the dad, I realised that he's a goner.
Yep.
But obviously he wasn't. So
No, yeah.
yeah, just a nice rippy army off moment.
Yeah, so we don't tend to get creature features released theatrically that often. We've had a little bit of a resurgence in the past few years with the Meg, the Shallows.
Coming back because obviously the last kind of thing when they were big was Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, it would be the late 90s when we got Deep Blue Sea, Lake Placid, and Anaconda.
Yeah, and then it kind of died down after that again.
It became very... Well, it became like Sci-Fi Channel. Like, you know, that's what they were doing.
I feel like they've changed the style a little bit though. So where creature features were very silly, very campy, they're kind of thinking 47 meters down as well. They've got a bit more. Obviously, the Meg is not a good indication of that, but like some of them have gone quite serious. Also,
The Shallows is very serious.
so that's what I was trying to think of. They've kind of gone this more like high tension, serious route. I'm quite enjoying that at the minute. Like there was a lot of tension in this film, and I really enjoyed that.
The Ritual, technically a creature feature with a Jotun. That's also very serious.
Yeah. Well, dark comedy.
Well, okay, yeah. The main characters in it are all like witty and British, but the actual horror is taken very seriously. Compared to the Meg, which is designed to be this like big blockbuster, silly, yeah, which is at times both too silly and too serious.
I love it. It's great.
But yeah, we'll save that for another day. Let's talk about Crawl.
Yeah,
Let's talk about Front Crawl. Talk about Crawl Space.
Very good. I thought that the CGI wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
It's
You can tell that it's there. So, I mean, don't go into this expecting a high budget CGI that looks real.
yeah, the gators are not that convincing. The storm in the background is not that convincing, but the practical stuff
Oh yeah, the practical
is
stuff.
really good. Like, I appreciate the fact that both Barry Pepper and Kaya Scodelario, I think that's right, roughly.
I don't know.
They do like a lot of their own like swimming stunts, and I thought that was impressive. And there's things like when the house is being like smashed in by like huge tidal waves, all of that is done practically.
They literally just took a house and smashed something into it. Great.
And it kind of happens like twice, because they have the one moment where the boat goes in, which is all practical, which is great. Yeah, and then the alligator towards the end. Speaking of that scene at the end,
Oh no, the door is closed. Oh no, the bookcase has fallen in front of the door. Gonna die.
Oh.
Lost.
I'm going to come back to that, but I'll do this bit that I want to talk about first. I am talking about the death roll. I have seen, well, I'm a creature feature enthusiast, which means I've seen a lot of creature features.
CreatureFeatureCorner.com.
Woo! Yeah, plug that. Especially, I've seen a lot of crocodile movies. Crocodile 1, Crocodile 2, Rogue, Alligator, Alligator 2, The Mutation,
I just want
Crocosaurus,
to point out that alligators and crocodiles are different.
Dino Croc, Super Gator, Dino Croc versus Super Gator.
Yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, ad nauseum. And Lake Placid 1 to 6.
Etc. Etc.
And so it's very rare for a creature feature to be able to whip out something which I've never seen on screen before.
Yeah, that is something that I haven't seen.
But this movie does a death roll where the crocodile, well, alligator, we're going to keep calling it crocodile, where the alligator grabs onto Kaya's arm and just spins her under the water, as they would do. And usually in movies, you see this from above the water, like the person comes up, screams back down, comes up, screams back down. But this is like the first time where we're under the water. It's a relative wide shot as well. You get to see.
Good wide shot, yeah. You see pretty much.
She must be on some kind of like mechanical rig
Yeah, I suppose.
that's like spinning her around, and she's trying to grab a flare to fend this alligator off with. And I was just like, visually, I was like, this is stunning. I thought that was great.
Yeah, I thought it was a really original idea, and they pulled it off. It worked really well.
Yeah.
I actually want to point out another part of the movie that I did really enjoy. The eggs.
Oh, the alligator eggs in the basement crawl space.
They laid eggs, which I was kind of like, how the hell did you not know about this?
That's true.
Especially because some of them are hatching, and it's like, they've been there for a while.
I loved how casually he's like, oh yeah, we've got this storm overflow drain. They must have come in through there.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
I guess being British, we don't ever have problems like this. We also don't have crawl spaces under our house.
That is true. But if that was me, I would put like a grate over that.
They had a grate, but it had been broken.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, you're right, I had. I'd have put like 5, stop gators from getting in.
Adamantium one.
Damn right, vibranium.
Adamantium one, then a vibranium.
Yes. Like alternate. But yeah, I love the little baby alligator.
Oh, we're gonna go down the route where she like at some point like comes out of the water and she's just covered in baby alligators, because that would be adorable.
I thought that somebody else was gonna enter the house and get munched by all the little
That would
babies.
have been so cute. Well, I guess that's where the campiness
That is true.
been, and they didn't want to follow that path.
That's us trying to make it more campy. One thing which Crawl does very well, which is difficult to do in horror movies, is you have to constantly like up the stakes. And
It constantly has to be getting worse for the main characters.
yeah, and they have this wonderful French sensibility where the main characters just suffer throughout the entire movie. That would be a strong influence from the French director.
Like bitten and like, I don't know.
It's like, think about like how uninjured Jason Statham is in The Meg, yeah.
Yeah, in comparison. But then I think sometimes you have to kind of weigh it up, because in this situation, yes, her adrenaline would be going, but I'm not sure she would be able to keep going as she does with the injuries that she sustains. I'm a bit like, your muscle wouldn't work in that leg. You wouldn't be able to put weight on that, because every time you'd just have blood pumping out.
Those gashes in her leg are so deep.
Yeah, that's destroyed your entire muscle in that leg.
And her arm as well. Her arm gets bitten like twice. Because there's the one bit where like she has the gun and her arm gets bitten, and then she just fires the gun into the alligator. She empties the whole clip.
Damn.
And then later on when she gets death rolled.
Death rolled, yeah.
And then she starts to like climb up onto
I was
the
a bit-
roof.
yeah,
I was just like,
God,
you
yeah,
poor woman.
She makes it though. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, having never experienced any sort of bad storm or hurricane, again, living in England, you don't get anything
We
like
do not
that.
get Category 5
I mean,
hurricanes.
we don't get any kind of category hurricane. You get like,
We do
oh
not get
no,
hurricanes."
we've had flooding, and someone's got like a foot of water in
They're
their
up,
house,
up to their knees.
and that's like not even anywhere near where we live. So we don't have that problem.
We live in a floodproof area, yeah.
on a hill. Yeah, so I can't even kind of comprehend what happens, and it almost seems a bit unreal to me, the idea that this house just starts flooding from the bottom up. One thing I did notice, and it kind of annoyed me once I'd noticed it, when she first comes into the crawl space, the floor is like mud. Like, it's really dirty,
Oh,
it's
yes.
really muddy. It starts filling up with water, the water is clear. And like
Yes,
they
so that
move
she can-
around.
so that she can see.
They move around and the water stays clear. And I was like, that wouldn't happen. She would move around and that would be just stirring all the mud on the floor.
A little bit of filmmaking convenience there.
Yeah, I was just a bit like, you're just doing this for convenience.
Oh, imagine the poor actress
you
who has
know.
to swim through muddy water.
Well, yeah, obviously, but then make the floor concrete at the beginning. I'm just saying, like, you know?
Okay, yeah, I see, I get
Yeah, at least to pick one and stick to it kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I would say that like that at the very beginning when she goes through like there's a relatively lengthy scene actually of her
Yeah.
exploring the crawl space
Massive
looking
crawl
for her dad.
space. I mean,
And like it establishes like the geography of like these are pipes that you need to climb over.
here's your flip-flops, you're going to find them.
Here are some this is where you've left your flip flops. Here's a screwdriver that you
There's
put
a
your hand on.
toolkit.
Here's a toolkit hanging up. Here's the radio.
Yeah.
And I really like that because I love it when films establish geography.
Well, it's nice to have, because otherwise you kind of get lost. I mean, I still got lost in this area because it is so large. But,
And there's a lot of the time when they're moving from like one safe area to the next.
yeah. And,
And
I
then-
was like, I have no idea where you are
But
right
they-
now.
yeah,
They're
but they
just
all look the
calling to
same.
each other. Yeah. They're just talking to each other over over it coming in. I did like the wet wall joke. You gotta find the wet wall. They're all wet, Dad. That made me laugh.
That was a nice. Yeah, I like that as well because obviously he's a tradesman, so
Yeah,
for him
he
it makes
knows
perfect
what
sense.
he's going on
but
about.
in this one situation, it's like the least useful thing you can say.
She just has no idea what he's going on about. It's quite entertaining. I don't know. I don't really have much more to say about this film. I just really enjoyed it. I would go see it again.
I will say that like it gets to the end where they're on the roof and like the helicopter's coming and it's
in
like
any normal creature feature and any sort of say late 90s early 2000s creature feature, this would happen.
if it had like a bigger budget, they would have kept going for another like 10-20 minutes because that helicopter would have come over and either in that moment a giant crocodile would have snatched it out of the air, or they would be dangling off like the ladder and then the crocodile would jump onto like the end.
Something would have happened.
But nothing like that happens. It's a happy ending.
Nice happy ending.
The girl survives, her dad
seems
survives.
Quite unusual, really.
The dog survives.
And they are the apex predator.
Yep, they really run that into your head, don't you?
Yep. Yep, apex predator. That's them. Yep.
That's humans in every situation.
Sure. Till we get eaten by crocodiles or alligators or
Nah, because the chick who's really good at
bears
swimming will kill at least one alligator.
you can outswim an alligator.
She outswims several alligators. There's that one bit when they're in the eye of the storm, when like they're up to like their waists in the water, and they're in the eye of the storm, so that it's all gone quiet. I will say that
you can make it. You can outswim them, baby. And it's like they can't. You're gonna die.
that was actually a fantastic example of like when it got worse because they're crawling because they're basically traveling across like waist deep water, and they're like, oh, it's okay though because like the rain will cover our splashes, so they get like halfway across into the open.
I don't even know if I'd say halfway.
Well, yeah, and then like the rain, like the eye of the storm is over them, so the rain just completely stops. So even when the rain stops, the
situation still is getting worse. Yeah.
Because that happens, and then like the alarm for the levees, the breaking.
Which just sounds like the Purge.
It does just sound like the Purge.
It's like, oh no, the Purge is also happening. This is just a really bad day.
Is that? Do you reckon that's like a generic American
Foghorn
emergency
sound.
noise? Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that sound is. Is that a generic American emergency sound? Is that something that happens in America? We don't know. We don't live there. Let us know.
Because I think like we have a British version, which is like the air raid siren. Which is
but
like,
we don't. No. Oh yeah. The uppy downy. But then we don't ever really use it because we don't need it here because we're a very safe country.
It will go off in the case of a nuclear.
Well, yeah, but at that point we're all buggered anyway, aren't we?
Well, yeah, we are. But I'm just saying. Saying that like.
Which one of us has a bunker? Oh, none of us. Oh well.
Which one of us has a bunker that is radiation proof?
Well, someone must have one.
With lead-lined walls.
There are a couple of people who are like, ready for all emergencies.
Just so that Superman can't see you, I guess.
Sure.
Can't see through lead, I think.
Better have some kryptonite down there. Anyway, so let us know. I don't know if that's a real sound or not, or if it's just stock sound that they use.
Like the Willem scream.
Yeah,
where,
because
like,
that's where they can get.
Drop and paste it in.
Yeah. Don't know.
I had a great time with Crawl. It's not even 90 minutes.
No.
It's
like 86, something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's including credits as
well.
So.
It's fine. It didn't feel too short, to be honest, because it's contained to sort of one place. I didn't find that was an issue.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I would be quite happy to see it again. Rewatchability, I'd probably put it about 4. I would quite happily watch that again.
I would definitely watch it again. Yeah. Not just because I love creature features, but because like, in terms of like being a thriller, this is it's simple, but it's like super well made.
It is, yeah.
Acting's great, plot and pacing are great.
I did not realize that actress was Teresa from the Maze Runner.
Maze Runner films.
You said it to me because her hair is different, and that threw me off.
Yeah, she's in Pirates 5 as well.
She is a much better actress. Sorry, than I first assumed. Sorry, yeah. I guess some of your characters have just been terribly written.
That is definitely true. And Barry Pepper, who plays her dad, was
Oh, he's
also
great,
in. He
yeah.
was in Maze Runner Scorch Trials as the leader of the Resistance.
Yes, yeah.
So
All around everyone.
yeah, two members of Maze Runner alumni.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, I think that's it. Hit the little bell to stay notified.
You kind of have to say the rest as well.
Oh, I don't know the rest.
It's like, comment, share, subscribe.
Hit the little bell to stay notified.
Nailed it.
Cool.
Go see Crawl
Especially if you like alligators. Don't judge it too much.
and houses.
Cool.